Dr. Connie Leeper, thank you for joining us on Health Matters today.
Thank you very much.
Did you always know you wanted to have something to do with women's health and babies and that kind of thing? Was that something you've been interested in a long time?
Pretty much from early on within medical school. I was very interested, being a woman and being able to take care of women, and it's just such a special time, I think, for women when they're having babies. So,
well, after they have their babies, you recommend breastfeeding, and we're going to talk about that today. There was a time where it seemed kind of to be optional. You can breastfeed or you can do formula. There is, as best we know, no better way to feed your newborn for quite some time than breastfeeding, right? And why is that?
Yes, that's correct. So there's been lots of research on it now to really prove that breastfeeding is the best type of food for babies. It has tons and tons of different benefits both for the mom and the baby. And formula, while it's perfectly adequate, formula companies are constantly just trying to make formula more like breast milk. So breast milk is really the standard. So some of the benefits that we know are it decreases infections in babies early on in life. It also may have benefits as far as decreasing obesity in children later in their life and increasing their intelligence and their cognition later in life as well.
We heard when our boys were babies that we may not deal with ear infections, and I think we had one or two for both of them the entire time. So all kinds of infections and health issues for the baby.
Yes, yeah. So ear infections is one that's been studied extensively. Also diarrhea illness, those are decreased in breastfeeding babies, and also just upper respiratory illnesses, so coughs, colds, things like that as well.
We've done segments in the past about recovery for a woman after the baby, how long to wait before having another child, that it takes time for a woman's body to replenish and revigorate itself. Are there health benefits for the mom breastfeeding?
Yes, so definitely. So for the mother, it does help them recover. The act of breastfeeding actually helps them produce hormones that help their uterus get back to a normal size. So it helps them with decreased bleeding immediately right after they deliver. And then also helps them with losing the baby weight, which is a big one for a lot of moms, to try and get back into a healthy place before they do decide to get pregnant again. And also economic benefit. It's much cheaper. It's free food for the baby. You don't have to buy as many bottles and all the accessories that go along with formula feeding.
Do you have a guideline or a period of time that you like to see a new mom breastfeed? I know it varies from mom to mom, baby to baby, schedules and all of that. We were always told something like 6 to 8 months ideally, though you can go longer than that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so there's a few professional organizations that do recommend breastfeeding exclusively actually for 6 months. So only breast milk, no other types of foods or fluids for the baby for 6 months, so that the American Academy of Family Practice, American Academy of Pediatrics, and the World Health Organization all recommend exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months. And then they do say that you can obviously go past that amount of time, but then you're going to start adding other supplemental foods as well.
What about moms that are watching this, or moms, soon-to-be moms, that have never breastfed, don't know much about it? Their OBGYN, their doctor should be giving them some opportunities, contacts to come up to speed if there is training or knowledge they should have.
Right, yeah. And that's definitely the biggest barrier, I think, for women is learning how to do it. It may seem like something that should be natural, but it's definitely a lot of work. So our hospitals have, lactation consultants, so nurses that are trained specifically in the mom and baby pair and teaching them how to hold the baby in different ways that might be more comfortable for the mother, especially if she's had something like a cesarean section where mobility may be harder. And it's a learning process. I always tell moms that it's not something that just happens. The baby has to learn and the mom has to learn how to breastfeed successfully.
And if there's real problems, if a woman has trouble producing milk or enough milk, can there be help for that, or any challenge that they might face, there's some solution for it?
Yes, yeah, that's definitely very important. We want the babies to be growing and healthy. So sometimes it's just an education issue, and they may just need some extra help and extra visits even after they leave the hospital to help with breastfeeding. But also, if there are production issues or anything like that, you can always supplement with formula, but any amount of breast milk you can get into the baby is beneficial.
I'll ask this as my last question for a mom out there that would like more information. I know your doctor's your best source probably. Can you find good, reliable information from the American Medical Society or the University Medical Center on breastfeeding online? Are those good, reliable places to go?
Yeah, there are some good resources. So, obviously it's good to look at medical organizations because they definitely have reliable information that's evidence-based. So World Health Organization, American Academy of Pediatrics, and Family Practice, both are ones. And probably the American College of OBGYN as well would have resources.
I said that I lied about that being my last question. I'll ask your thoughts on this. I think there's a bonding that happens. My boys would walk across hot coals for their mother, and I don't know if breastfeeding had anything to do with it, but there's a bonding there that I witnessed and saw that I appreciated and appreciate to this day. It's just a good start for babies and for mom, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. There's actually been even evidence for that there's less neglect, better bonding with the mom, and probably potentially even some help with postpartum depression and things like that to prevent those types of things because there is more of a bond between the mom and the baby.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us. The information is invaluable and we appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thank you.